I was at school, but I was like, sort of like, in all honesty, I was kicked out of things, and I just wasn't really, I was just this angry person.
Did you ever relapse?
So at 19, I relapsed. And I basically relapsed. I didn't relapse on drink. I relapsed on laughing gas, basically, which was like a horrendous relapse where I should have seen it coming, because I was...
Was that, when you say relapse, someone was laughing gas, at the time, 19, that was probably not seen as something hardcore.
It really wasn't.
Or that addictive.
It really wasn't.
The dangerous thing about
that. It's very good that laughing gas has been banned, because it's one of those addictions that I got completely and utterly obsessed with laughing gas, and I wasn't looking at it as a relapse because it wasn't a drug.
Yes.
So I was using it for about 6 months, and it just got worse and worse and worse and worse, and it got to a point where, I just got so addicted. I couldn't go through a day without using laughing gas. I was using it like seriously addictively,
like multiple times a day.
Yeah. I mean, I ended up doing like 600 laughing gas in one night. Yeah,
600 of the canisters.
Yeah,
in a night.
Yeah, it was horrendous.
But surely your brain and your body.
Yeah, I'm genuinely lucky to be here. Like
600 canisters in 24 hours.
Yeah, it was really, really bad, and I woke up. I don't know how long I was out for, but I woke up and just begged my parents to put me back into rehab. I begged them, which was really tough. Like,
so you weren't drinking at this point?
I wasn't drinking.
Just purely.
I was like 4 years clean, and I've been going to meetings, to AA meetings, which for me has saved my whole entire life.
Yeah.
But I wasn't listening to anyone. So people were telling me how to get clean, but I was doing the thing that I would always do. Like, I know best, knowing that I didn't know best. But this like stubborn idiot, basically. And it all came to a head. I didn't have a job. I didn't have a purpose. I was in a really, really bad way. Like, things were happening. Unfortunately, like, my mum got diagnosed with cancer. My grandma got diagnosed with cancer. My mum also was an addict as well, and an alcoholic, and that was all going on. That was all going on after me being in rehab. So everything, like watching her being the way that she was, and it was just horrendous, and everything was basically just shit. And because I had no purpose and no sense of belief in myself, I just looked at it, I just don't want to be here anymore. I was suicidal. I was angry. I just had no purpose. And after the laughing gas situation, I basically just was like, I can't do this anymore. I can't do it. Like, I hate my life. There's only two ways out here. Either I die because I don't want to be here, or I basically just sort my fucking shit out, basically. And I have to start believing in myself.
Was this a conversation you were having with yourself?
With myself.
Was this in rehab?
In rehab. And I remember being in rehab in the one place that I never wanted to be ever again. And I remember myself in there, like, I was broken. Like, I was literally broken, and I couldn't do it. I couldn't do it anymore. I couldn't deal with life. And that was the turning point of my life, really.
What made you go in the right direction?
Just sort of what made me go in the right direction? Like,
because it seems like that was the lowest point.
It was that was like the lowest point. It really was. But it was just like, I don't know what it was. It was something in my mind, like a bit of a light bulb of like, I can do this, and no one can stop me, but I need to get out of this rut. And like, my dad came from nothing. Like, my dad literally lived in a council estate, came from nothing, and gave me and my family everything. And he always worked so hard. And I watched him do it. And I've always been a hard worker, but I just knew that the creative is, I don't know what it was, but I just knew that I wanted to do something creative, and I wanted to do something different. And I love music, and I'm a DJ, and I'm DJing all over the country. And I basically just sort of came out of rehab.
I was DJing at
this point. And cut a long story short, I started a company with a friend of mine, and it was an events company, an under 18s events company. It was called High Frequency. It was in the UK. It was like a dubstep, drum and bass, grime under 18s event.
Yeah.
And this was the first time ever where I was sort of like excited for my future.
Were you a bit nervous at this point? And the reason why I asked that is because we're going into a scene where you spent 7 years battling environment, substances and everything like that. You're going straight back into a scene where that is everywhere.
100%.
You're not going on to make water just yet.
Yeah, 100%.
Was that quite a... Were you nervous?
I wasn't nervous. I knew it was there. But I was so in love with the scene.
Yeah.
Okay. So in love with the scene. Like I used to go to Fabric every week, stone cold sober. And it sounds so weird because dubstep is really not a genre that I really listen to now. But when I first ever heard the first dubstep song, I remember just thinking like, this is me. Like I'm obsessed with this, and I engulfed myself into this scene because I loved how it was very like underground and very urban. I loved how it had never really been done before, and it was very and this goes on in my life really with Cano and everything. I loved the fact that no one was doing anything in it, and I sort of become obsessed with those things because it's like, wow, this is new.